you want a bite? Gentle. Alright, so I did the first part in French, I'll do the second part in English. I wanted to talk a bit about Summit, so how I came to get Summit, and kind of the story revolving around how I ended up getting him kind of afterwards. So right after COVID, or kind of during COVID, one of my best friends calls me and he says, "Hey man," at the time we were both in relationships, we were both kind of hanging out at the same time, you know, that whole couples thing where you end up just creating like a box of friendship. He called me and he said, "Hey man, by the way, I put my name on a registry to get a dog." I was like, "Dude, no way, that's so funny, me too." And I asked him, I was like, "What kind of dog?" He's like, "A Labrador Retriever, a black Labrador Retriever." And I'm like, "Oh shit." So did I. I also want a lab. I'd grown up with labs. I always wanted one. That was kind of my dream, to be able to afford a dog and own a dog. And the first dog that I got, her name was River. So we got her and my buddy's dog around the same time, and so it was even like, it wasn't just a square, it ended up being like some sort of triple mix where, you know, the girls would hang out and like train the puppies together. We'd take them on runs, you know, it evolved. Unfortunately, after like 9 months, my dog, or our dog at the time, me and my ex's dog at the time, passed away. So it was definitely tough on both of us. We didn't really know how to act. We didn't really know what to do, what to say. It was a tough time. I think ultimately, like, that's what started to break us apart. But whatever, hindsight's 2020. After about like a month, I realized like I couldn't live without a dog. I couldn't do it. And so what I did was, I put my name on a registry, same thing, through the Kennel Club website, the Canadian Kennel Club website, link in the description. And I immediately put the deposit down and I was like, I cannot live without a dog. And at the time there was a disagreement between me and my ex where she was like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I want another puppy." Meanwhile, I was like, I don't really care. Like, I want a dog, and ultimately, like, knowing how things are going in our relationship, this is my decision. I'm doing this for myself. And obviously, I'm writing my own story here. It's on my YouTube, me saying it to myself. So maybe the story is slightly different from her point of view, which, fair enough. But that's my point of view, that I got the dog for me. And that was Summit. So we got Summit at that point. Pause the story, I'm gonna throw it back. So, we get the dog. I flew to Calgary, flew it back. Hopefully I can pull some videos that I had of him when I first got him. But it was awesome. I was like, oh my God, this is exactly what I needed. After the death of one dog, we got another. And he was hilarious. Like, we called him the little man because he was running up and down the stairs at like 8 months. Not 8 months, 8 weeks, 2 months. And we really liked it. Like, I was enjoying how it was rebuilding the relationship between me and my ex at the time. We weren't exes at the time, but you get the point. But then long story short, like, I think as the relationship kind of grew and I, you know, lacked focus in my job and didn't know what I wanted in life and lacked a lot of confidence and commitment, it kind of grew us apart. But ultimately we still had the dog, so I think it kept us together for a longer period of time. Ultimately, it didn't end up working out, and then began like the struggle of like sharing the dog, or like, what are you supposed to do, you know, when you have the dog together. So everything was going fine until it wasn't, and I think as I just couldn't commit to anything, the relationship started to deteriorate, and then he was caught in the crosshairs. Every year she would take the dog tree planting, and so that was kind of a guaranteed thing. So she packs up the car, takes the dog, and a week later calls me and says, hey, I don't want to be in a relationship anymore. Definitely tough to hear, but I kind of knew why. I was like, you know what, I'm a piece of shit. I'm not a good person. I have a lot of lessons to learn. I'm not a great boyfriend, and I don't know what it means to be a good man. A lot of deep things, but this is what this YouTube channel is for. So one thing leads to another. She comes back after 3 months, and I'm kind of just lost. I'm like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to about this, but I know that I need the dog in my life. And so I made sure to tell her, like, hey, you know, we can share the dog potentially, but ultimately it's my dog and it's gonna be my call. It took like 6 months of just back and forth of, hey, I'm gonna take the dog for a month, you're gonna have the dog for this week. You know, she would call me basically like day of, being like, hey, I'm coming down to drop off the dog. And I didn't really fuck with that. And so I wasn't necessarily the nicest person, you know, kind of during the breakup, which kind of led us to just kind of grow apart even further. I'm not saying everybody should be best friends with their ex, but at least some communication would be nice. You spend a lot of your life with that person, but it is what it is. And one day I had enough. One day I called her, I said, hey, I still have feelings for you, and having to share this dog just sucks ass. Like, I don't want to do it anymore, I'm tired of it. And so I took a week to think about it. I said, hey, like give me a week to think about this. She called me after a week, and I said, no, I'm taking the dog, and I have not seen her since. And that was in April of this year. I've had Summit full-time since. There's been a lot of ups and downs. There's a lot of discipline that I had to learn early on. He liked to get in a bunch of food, but yeah, I'm happy to have him. I'm happy to have him. He means the world to me. I'd do anything for him. So. As you can tell, we're at the dog park, so it's fucking loud. So I'll leave it here. Hopefully my editing skills have gotten better. To show little videos of Summit when he was a baby, maybe pictures of River. But yeah, dogs mean a lot to me. And to have one in my life is really a blessing. But also at the same time, it's a curse of having to always think about somebody else instead of thinking about yourself. And to succeed and grow in that environment where you're constantly having to spend energy elsewhere is very, very challenging. So I'm learning these challenges. I'm trying to become a better man, and yeah. Day 10.